One of our biggest chores has been accountability, or lack of accountability. So I've added that into this little amendment, and it's under the executive and legislative branch transparency and accountability. Any member of Congress that intentionally skips or refuses to vote on any legislation presented for pass or fail vote in their respective House, that's the House of Representatives or the Senate, of Congress shall be fined 10% of their base salary per incident. Fines are to be paid to the general fund of the state they represent. In the event a member's fines exceeds their base salary, the fines must be paid from the member's personal assets prior to the end of the fiscal year in which the fines were assessed. Now, that seems a little harsh, but I can tell you that every time a senator doesn't vote, half your state is not represented. I can tell you that every time your representative doesn't vote, that is 637,000. It may be actually increasing in 2012 because of the latest census, but roughly 637,000 people go unrepresented in Congress. That's not what they're paid to do. Simply put, they're paid to represent you, me, and everyone in their district in Congress. Their failure to vote, whether intentionally or because they've got a meeting somewhere, is just unacceptable. They're being paid for it. It's time for them. If they're going to miss it, they got to pay for it. Now, members may not refer to a group or party when referring to members or persons that oppose their actions or legislation the member supports or opposes. Each person of such group or party that the member is referring to must be named. In other words, I don't want to hear my friends on the other side of the aisle, or the Republicans, or the Democrats, or that one independent from Vermont is causing all of this trouble. I want to know people's names. If you can't name them, then you don't know who to address about the issue. And there is no reason that somebody else, whether they're a Democrat or Republican, should get hate mail because of somebody else not doing what somebody else thinks was right. I mean, it's real simple. It's an accountability. I won't tell you that it was a bunch of gang members that did something. I will say it was that person and that person and that person. I will not generalize that way, and neither should our Congress. Let's get this bipartisan bullshit bickering over with. And if you have a problem with a congressman or a friend across the aisle, then you better name his ass, or her ass, whichever it is. Because by hiding their names, you're just feeding a fire that shouldn't be there in the first place. It's that simple. And that pretty much takes care of the accountability and transparency section of this